Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and August 11 of 2021 was the 30th anniversary of Nicktoons. Now, the reason I didn't talk about it sooner was because I thought the 30th anniversary was going to be in September, but turns out it was August 11 all along. Well, anyway, in honor of the 30th anniversary of Nicktoons, I did watch one episode of the three original Nicktoons, and they are Doug, Rugrats, and Wednesday B. And I am also going to review the episode of each one. At least, the one I saw. Now, first, Doug. Now, the episode that I saw was Dog Bags Unlimited. Now, this wasn't really the first episode to air on Nickelodeon, but it does establish, the concept of the show. Well, anyway, it starts with a boy named Doug Funny who was moving into a new town with his family. And their family moved into the town called Bluffington, and Doug was writing in his journal about it. And Doug writing in a journal was something that happens in the entire series. Now, as soon as Doug and his family arrived at their new house, well, Doug first introduced each member of his family. First of course, there's his sister Judy, older sister, who Doug said that she feels like life is a movie, on account that Judy is an actress, but that is something that's revealed in later episodes. Then, of course, there's Doug's mother and Doug's father. Now, I don't think their names were revealed, but we'll just call them Mr. and Mrs. Funny. Now, Mr. Funny got the job at a department store as a photographer, which is why they moved to Bluffington. Now, also, they have a dog named Porkchop, and he was also doing his own movie. And he was, pointing to the movers as a way of telling them where to put his doghouse, which is shaped like an igloo. Also, there was for some reason there was a cow in the yard, but never revealed why. Now another thing is that in Doug, the people in that world are different colors. Not like the different colors like in real life, but more like you see in Doc's world there are blue people and green people and purple people. Yes. Well, anyway, Mr. Funny told Doc to go buy the family some burgers, and when Doc was getting on his bike to go to the neighbor's fast food store, and then he meets his neighbor, Bud Tink, but everybody calls him Mr. Tink. And then we meet his wife, Tippy Tink, but everybody calls her Mrs. Tink. Of course, Mr. Tink calls her on the phone. That was the joke Mr. Tink came up with. Well, and oh yeah, and also the Tinks, they are purple. At least yes. And when Doc told Mr. Tink about him going to the burgers, to buy some burgers for his family, well, Mr. Tink invited Doc to his house to show him a video about the town of Bluffington, and he said it's something that they show newcomers, so they know how to get around. And also, the video starts with the mayor of Bluffington called Mayor White, and he's orange, and in the entire series, he will say, "Vote for me." Those are the words he will say. And of course, Mr. Dick fast forward to other parts of the video where they get to a department store, and then fast forward to a the mayor in some kind of a forest, and then soon the Mr. Dink fast forward the video to this restaurant called the Hunger Burger, and this was in the Mayor White. He said that is where young people go to hang out, and then Mr. Dink told Doug how to get there, and then Doug went on his bike with workshop. And well, Doug was excited because he finally get to meet some kids. But then, of course, he started to think about what if nobody likes him? And then he started fantasizing about the mayor telling the people to honk the other town. And like on that, Doug shows the a loser. Now, in the show, in the entire series, Doug would have exaggerated fantasy sequences. Anyway, eventually Doug went to the Hunger Burger. He started to order, but the cashier says that she couldn't understand what she's saying. And then came this guy who was helping with Doug's order. And then finally the other was there, then Doug would have to wait, until it was ready. Now the guy who helped him out is Skeeter Valentine. And Skeeter, well, his name is short for mosquito. Oh, and also Skeeter, he's blue. Not sad blue, but his skin is blue. And then, he greeted Gator Bluffing then and to some people. And then finally, Dog sort of was ready, and when he was on his way to get his food, Dog accidentally tripped onto ketchup, and the ketchup landed on some guy's shoe. And the guy, his name is Roger Klutz, and he screamed. And then Roger told Doug about the ketchup, and finally Roger told the guy with him in his group outside, and eventually Roger told Doug that how he can be a hero by bagging this creature called a nematode. And well, Doug as if those things don't really exist, but Roger told him they do exist, and he's got his friend, what his group do about the nematode that they also saw it too. And then Roger told Doug to go meet them at the park. So I mean not the forest. Oh, you know, never Lucky Duck Lake to catch the nematode. And Roger told him that if he bags a nematode, then he will be a hero. And then finally, Doug, he arrived at the location, and then Roger told him what Doug needs to do to catch a nematode was, for one thing, is to do a nematode meeting call, and then when the nematode comes, Doug should bag him. And then Roger and his gang, they went somewhere, and then Doug saw in doing what Roger said to do, which was the nematode meeting call. And then after some time, Doug realized, well, found Roger his group hiding behind a bush and realized it was all a setup, and they were, that they made Doug, caused Doug to make a fool himself. And then Doug went to the guys and told them that they got him, and Roger said that he can't believe that Doug fell for the old nematode gag. And then of course came a creature, and then everybody was afraid because the nematodes didn't exist. However, Doug noticed that the nematode had kind of like a small tail, and it was pork chop, and well, Doug tries to tell the guys that it wasn't a nematode, but they just wouldn't listen, and he just let them think that it's an nematode, and well, a pork chop disguised as a nematode was doing some kind of nematode dance and running circles around the guys. And then when Doug was told to bag it, then Doug told the pork chop to go inside the bag by saying, "In the bag, you all nematode you," and pork chop went inside the bag. And whenever they all saw the Doug bagging pork chop, thinking that he was a nematode, then well, they were impressed. And Roger, he didn't want to be the one. Since he didn't want Doug to get all the glory, he wanted to go and bag a nematode himself. So he stayed behind so he can catch one as well. And then later, at the Hunger Burger, Doug told Skeeter about what happened, and well, Skeeter thought that Rocket was really a nematode, but of course, as much as Doug tried to explain that it was really pork chop, well, Skeeter didn't listen, and that anyway, he has let Skeeter think it's a nematode for the time being. Oh, if I could mention, early in the episode, Doc saw this girl who was orange, and he had a crush on her the moment he saw her. And then when she was seen inside a Hunger Burger after the Nematode event, well, Dog asked Skeeter what's her name, and Skeeter said that her name is Betty Mayonnaise. And Skeeter said to Dog that he would introduce her, but Dog was too nervous. And then after some resistance, Doug once again tripped on a packet of ketchup, and then he crashed underneath Betty's table, and then thinking that he must trip at Betty. Well, she calmed him down and told Doug that it's alright, and that turns out that the ketchup landed inside Betty's burger. And then later that night, Doug, he was using the hose on pork chops, so he won't look like a nematode anymore. And then Mr. Dean came around, took a picture, and by the time he took the picture, pork chop was already in nematode free. And then later than that, Doug was writing his journal about his first day in Bluffington. And well, first he thought about Skeeter, who he thinks will be best friends or best human friends. And then he talked about Mr. Dink, who he was nice but kind of crazy. And then Doug, well, he said he might be rushing things, but he thinks he's in love with Betty Mayonnaise. And then Doug suddenly realized whatever happened to Roger. And it turns out that Roger was still a Lucky Duck Lake, um, trying to catch a nematode by making the nematode call. And that's how the episode ends. Now, the next show I saw was Rugrats, and the episode was Tommy's first birthday. Now, that episode starts with a baby named Tommy Pickles, who uh, got up, and well, of course, he already turned 1 year old. And we also meet his parents, his father Stu Pickles and his mother Didi Pickles. And they were all getting Tommy ready for the party they have for him since he's a year old now. And then they brought him to the kitchen to so he could eat his breakfast. And well, they tried to get Tommy to open his mouth, but he just wouldn't. And then Stu had an idea, and Didi was not so sure about it. But of course, Stu wanted to try his way, see his way would work. And then of course, he it led to Tommy looking at the TV, which was showing a commercial for some kind of, oh yeah, for dog food called Husky Chow. And then later, oh yes, more the guests arrived, and well, first there was this woman named Betty, and and then a guy named Howard. They're a married couple, and they have twins, a boy and a girl named Phil and Lil, and they also brought this other kid named Chucky. Now, eventually they brought put the babies in the pan and in the playpen, and see, oh yeah, and they put party hats on them. And then, once the adults went to talk about things, well, Tommy told his friends about dog food and wondering why it was talking about dog food. And well, Tommy said that he thinks that if he eats dog food, then he would turn into a dog. And well, Phil and they were kind of excited about it because sleep in the flowers and howl at the moon. Of course, Sharky wasn't so sure about it because he talked about how dogs have fleas and stuff, and then that makes live want to be dogs even more. And of course, oh, and then they basically he heard the yeah, oh yes, Dee Dee, she mentioned about Tommy's cousin Angelica, who is a 3-year-old girl, and we soon meet her, with her father Drew driving to the party. Now, Drew is Stu's older brother, and they arrive in the house, and then Angelica went to see Tommy, and Tommy told Angelica about dog food, and then Angelica, well, after that, he said that he has that even on his birthday, she still gets birthdays on toys, and then she asked Angelica why he was, I mean, asked Tommy why he was talking about dog food, and then one of the babies mentioned that Tommy thinks that if you eat dog food, then he would turn to the dog. And Angelica was interested in the idea because, well, she thought that if she turns to a dog, then she can fight the mailman. So all all the kids were on in the whole dog food adventure together. However, as many times as Tommy started to get the dog food, he won't do it. I mean, first time it happened was when after Tommy's parents went upstairs, but of course his grandfather, Lou, he stopped him and told him that he doesn't want it. But anyway, second time around, Tommy was about to eat getting close to being a dog food. However, Didi came and got him to open presents. The first present to open was a fire truck, and then the second was Stu's present, which was some kind of thing that he calls a hover whatever. Of course, he forgot to put the batteries in the remote. And then the next present were these walkie-talkies, which parents can use, those baby monitors. Well, anyway, eventually, Dummy had another attempt of getting dog food, but once again, his other grandparents, from his mother's side, came, and then it was the fourth time that he tried. However, his mother, yeah, Didi, grabbed Tommy and told him about all the other presents to open, and then Tommy started to cry because he's been trying to eat dog food all day long, but each time well, oh yes, he was being stopped. And then a doorbell rang, and Didi think was puppeteers, and well, they got the stage and puppets ready. However, there were no puppeteers. But Stu, well, thought that he and Drew could do the performance. However, Lou said it wasn't such a good idea because the last time they started the performance, and then they did. Little Red Riding Hood. However, it didn't turn out so well. Then eventually it led to Drew and Stu having a big argument. Now, finally, once everybody was busy watching the show, at least the adults were, Tommy was ready to finally get the dog food, and out came Spike. And all the kids thought that Tommy had no dog, but and then Spike went inside the room, and then they saw Tommy over there in human form. And when they asked how, when he changed back into a baby uh, from a dog, Tommy said he never was a dog because Spike ate all the dog food. However, they noticed that there was again a dog food up at the shelf, and they tried to get it. And then Chucky, well, he got some batteries and put inside the remote for the hover whatever, and used it to bring Tommy up and get it. And however, it was all a big chaos, and eventually the hover thing lit it in the cake, and Titi was upset because the party didn't go as she planned. And then Grandpa, Lou, he found a kind dog food and put it on a plate for Spike. However, Spike didn't want any, and then the kids, they saw the dog food and took a put it in their mouths. However, they took it out because they didn't like the taste and wondering if it works. However, and well, even though they didn't really turn into dogs, they actually started acting like dogs, and that's how the episode, by barking and stuff, and that's how the episode ended. Now we get to Ren and Stimpy. Now, and that well, that what I thought was actually a two-part episode. I mean, at least an episode with two segments. And well, the first half was called Stimpy's Big Day. I mean, Stimpy's Big Day. And well, that episode started with Stimpy watching about to watch his favorite show, and Ren was telling Stimpy of he was that he well complaining about Stimpy watching cartoons. Since Stimpy is 3 years old, and he asked Stimpy if he knows how that in how long is that in human years, and talk about how cartoons, will ruin your brain, will ruin his brain. Of course, there've been other shows that thing where somebody would say something like that. Even in cartoons for kids, they would have somebody talk about how cartoons are bad. So it wasn't nothing new. I mean, it wasn't anything new anyway. But anyway, recently, Stevie's show started. It was called the Muddy Mudskipper Show, and Stevie was dancing along with the theme song. Then eventually, after the theme song came this advertising for a contest. Since the show was brought by something called uh, Quitty Kitty. It was some kind of kitty later. It was called. But anyway, the contest was that for contestants to write a poem about why they love Quitty Kitty, and the prize, the person who writes the best poem will win $43 million, has some kind of contract, and chance to meet Money Mudskipper, and an all expense trip to Hollywood. And Stevie was so excited that he started to write a poem for Kitty Kitty. And Ren, he wasn't so highly about it. He didn't feel highly about it, and he was making fun by saying something like, "This is crunchy, even in milk." And then Stevie wrote that in his poem, and finish it. And eventually, Stimpy went with an envelope with a program inside, and he was about to he put it in a mailbox. Of course, Ren told him that these contests are a scam and the cartoons are real; they're just puppets. And Ren warned Stimpy that if he puts the envelope inside the mailbox, then Ren would lose any respect he has for him. And decided whether to a chance to meet Muddy or to listen to Ren. Eventually, Stimpy decided to put the poem inside the mail, and Ren, Stimpy begged Ren to forgive him, and Ren was like, nope, nope, no, no. The next day, the doorbell rang, and he opened the door, and he asked, somebody asked for Stimpy, and well, his friends he could get Stimpy, and the guy at the door said to tell him that Stimpy just won $47 million. And yeah, he was about to get his Stimpy, but once he realized what the guy had said, he got excited and told him that he's the cat, like saying, I'm the cat. And he acted all crazy. And then Stimpy arrived, and that's what's going on. And Ben says, well, called him Robert and told him to go back to his doghouse. And then went inside the kitty litter and said how much he loved it, but they knew it wasn't really Stimpy, and he was offering the money to Stimpy. However, Stimpy ran and grabbed the money and says, "It's mine. I wrote the poem." I think, oh, all crazy. Then again, he took the money and Stimpy as well. And then Ren was, complaining about Stimpy leaving, and I don't remember he told Stimpy never to come back. But anyway, eventually led to the next thing was with Stimpy finally meeting Muddy, and then was getting ready for his big day. And well, that part of the episode ended. And then we get to another segment, a short one called Stimpy's Practice Tips, where well, Stimpy talked to the audience about how they can get a bite out of a cereal without making the pasta like all this on the side. So what he did was Stimpy says to grab a big bowl, pour all the cereal in, and get a price. And for him, the price was a Muddy Mudskipper cereal bowl caddy. And then Timmy put all three back inside the box, even though Ren told him that he should wait until he finished all the cereal. And of course, Stevie said that it looks like it hasn't been opened, but it has because the cereal box became fat, along with other cereals in the same condition. Now we get to the next segment, which was the big shot, where well, it's been some weeks, since Stimpy left home, and the whole house was a mess. Well, trailer, I mean, was a mess. And well, first he found Stimpy's uh, toy mouse, and then as he was walking, he found Stimpy's hair ball. Then he ran put that hair ball inside, put it in his belly, like a kangaroo pouch. And then we get to a yeah, where Stimpy was starring in an episode of Mudskipper. He was saying lines from past cartoon series shows, and then eventually led to another. Well, I forgot which back in which, but well, anyway, for Ren, he thought he could watch TV to keep his mind off Stimpy. However, Stimpy was starring in so many shows, and there was a segment where the looked like Stimpy was looking at Ren outside the TV, which is really funny. And then we move show about where Stimpy was. Well, there was these two women who were looking fondly at Stimpy, and it looked like there was some kind of pool. And Stimpy dived, but it wasn't into water; it was into kitty litter, which and Screw was swimming in it, just like how Scrooge McDuck was swimming money. Oh, also another part of Stimpy's Hollywood career was that he did a commercial where like he asked to ask a customer about a pretty kitty, and then he met a horse, Mr. Horse, who will be seen in other episodes. And first he once he was done assembling the pretty kitty and another brand, well, for brand name, he said he liked it by saying, "No, sir, I don't like it." And then the next one, the pretty kitty, I didn't like that one because I think he said that one's better. And told people watching the commercial, the ad, to look for his face his on the back of Kitty Kitty. And then we get another scene where Ren he was living in bed, and then he thought but he decided to move a pillow inside the living room and sleep on it, and for some reason the pillow started to take the form of Stimpy, and he said, "Good night, Stimpy." And then he was saying like then he got scared, saying, "Ah, you're hunting me!" and ran. That was a very funny scene. And then the pillow was like, "He's talking to pillows, pillows, pillows." Yeah, that was a very funny scene. And then we get to a scene where Timmy was crying because Money asked why he was crying because he got $47 million, a Hollywood contract, and so many things. And Sleepy said he wants Ran, and then later in the episode, at the trailer, Ran's trailer, where he opened the door and oh yeah, it was Stimpy. He returned home, and they were so happy to see each other again. And when Ren asked what he did with all his money, well, Stimpy said he gave it all away, and Ren was touched that he did that all for Ren. And then Ren was like, and once Ren realized what Stimpy really did, he was like, "You gave away $47 million," and then he started to slap Stimpy by saying, "You idiot," and say more insults. And yeah, that was funny, but Stevie was happy because, well, anyway, that's how the episode ended. However, there was some kind of like an epilogue where Ren and Stimpy were on a stage, and Ren said, "Well, that's all for today. See you next time." And Stimpy as, oh no, no, he said, "Show's over." Similar. Oh yeah, we just see you next show's over, and well, when Stimpy asked when is next time, and Ren said, "In a little while," and Tiffany wanted to know what he would do until then, and he gave some suggestions, but then suddenly he suggested Timmy to spend some time with his pretty kitty, pretty kitty letter, and then that's how the episode ended. And that's each episode of the three original Nicktoons I saw, each one. And yes, it was nice to look back and see. I mean, I remember as a kid, I watched it because it was cartoons I've seen before, and back then I would, well, when I was a kid, I would, watch it whenever I get a chance. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I did do another video about Nicktoons, about all the Nicktoons that I watch, at least the one I did but watch on their cat dog. You can check it out if you haven't. Just type in Brian the Fanboy Nicktoons, and you can see the video of me talking about Nicktoons and how I became a fan and stuff. So yes, and if you want to do something to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Nicktoons, you can well make a video that has something to do with them, or maybe do some kind of arts and crafts and show it on social media. You know, it's up to you. And also, yeah. So I think that's all I can say in this video. And also, please subscribe to my channel because it will help me a lot. And also, please share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.